And I never quit drinking before then. To me, a party was not a place to hang out with your friends. It was a place to drink. That was just what it was. Back about just before the pandemic, I quit smoking cigarettes. That was something I would do off and on. I would quit smoking, then I would smoke. I'd quit smoking, then I'd smoke. A lot of times the alcohol would get me to smoking. You go out and have a few drinks, then you want to have a cigarette. Now, he mentioned this morning, we talked about a little bit, not too much about politics, but back in 2020 during the pandemic and things were going crazy in the world, and I was looking at Christians going, what's going on? Why are these people following this or following that? I couldn't understand it. And then I read in Thessalonians, let me find, I got it in here. 2 Thessalonians, because they refuse to love the truth and so be saved, God sends them a strong delusion so they would believe what is false. So I realized that there's Christians that must be under a delusion. And then I started thinking, what about me? Am I under a delusion? I was going to church on Sunday. There was a little church I would go to in Rochester. And I started talking to the pastor because I started asking God, I want to know I'm not deluded. I want to know what your truth is. And I prayed, God, show me your truth. I want to know it. And then it's funny because you mentioned him this morning. I would wake up getting ready for work and I'd turn on the TV and I'd watch this show called Amazing Facts with Doug Batchelor. And I would listen to him. And at first I didn't know he was Seventh-day Adventist. I just thought he was a preacher. And I'm like, well, I like what he's saying. And then I realized, oh, he's Seventh-day Adventist. And I started listening. And I would argue with him from time to time because he went through the 70 weeks of Daniel. I believed that that was a two-part. You know, Daniel was a 69 weeks, and then the last week's way out there on the end. And I would say, no, that's not right. But when I listened to him and really looked at the word, I realized he's right. What he's saying is right. And then he would say, I believe that when my dad passed away, he's in heaven. He's walking with Jesus right now. And I would listen to him, and it's like, no, that's not. But then I kept listening, and I would look at the word, and I'm like, he's right. The dead are sleeping. And then I believe there was a rapture.